The Pacers did well. It's as simple as that. To be honest, I was not excited for this series because of the circumstances leading up to this. First of all, I wanted to see the Knicks versus the Pacers. But Madison Square Garden turned into a emergency room for some reason. And another reason is, simply put, I knew the outcome of what this was going to be, what the series was going to be. The Celtics is supposedly the best team in the league and was a favorite to win the NBA title, so I knew this was going to end in an L for the Pacers. That being said, the Pacers made this series interesting. They pushed this team in game one, if not for that insane 3 by Jaylen Brown that essentially saved that game for them. I believe this will be a series. In game 2 was kind of a blowout, but in game 3, again, they were pushed. The Celtics were pushed by a collaborative effort by Pascal Siakam, Andrew Nembhard, and Miles Turner, which again almost made this a series. Now, is this a credit to the Pacers? Yeah, it is. But at the same time, you also have to look at the Celtics, in which a video on them is coming soon. But for now, I want to talk about game 3 and how the Celtics did their thing. Like I said, the Pacers really pushed this game. Andrew Nembhard in particular is someone I want to name. He was going crazy, where he had 32 points. He really brought this Pacers team alive, which they needed after the loss of Halliburton. And I love when role players turn up when the top guy is out, because in truth, these role players you see are gems. There are hidden gems. Some of them. But they just don't get to show their ability because they just don't have the time. They don't get the most touches. It's the top guy that does it, is the first option. You know what? Low-key scratch that. I actually hate when they decide to have a breakout game against a team I'm rooting for. Especially when the first and second option is not having a good game. Like, bro, you're ruining it, bro. Like last year with the Lakers and the Nuggets. Bruce Brown and Aaron Gordon was going off. Like, bro, where was this before? Sit down. Chill. Stop being reliable when your team needs it the most. But yeah, this was a breakout game for him. It just sucks that it came in a loss like this. And real quick, let's talk about who caused this L in the first place. Jrue Holiday. The Bucks should have kept him. I know they were probably in the Bucks front office at the time, rewatching Damian Lillard highlights on YouTube and going crazy. So they're probably not thinking when they traded this guy. And look, I get it, but Jrue Holiday is underrated. He has been underrated since his New Orleans Pelicans days. He's a two-way player that can play both sides, either offense or defense. He got it for you. And by the end of the game, the Pacers clearly felt his defensive presence. I'm not going to lie, Nembhard should have set a screen or something. Once Jrue Holiday got in front of him, it was a dead end. But it was not only Jrue Holiday. Al Horford, who is a dinosaur at this point, was doing his thing. This man is basically role player LeBron. Making big shots for them when it counted. Yeah, they needed that. And then there's Jason Tatum. Look, I'm of the belief that this team has not been tested. They have not been battle tested like other teams. And I think that notion has to die with this game, because I will admit, this game was a test. This game was serious, and Jason Tatum showed up. And this has been, I think, the first game of the playoffs where I felt that the Celtics actually felt like a threat. I felt like the Celtics was actually one of those teams. I mean, it's hard to explain it, so I'll explain it in a future video that's coming soon when it comes to the Celtics. But the Celtics cannot be one of those teams if Jason Tatum is not Jason Tatum. And last night, Jason Tatum was, in fact, Jason Tatum. So no matter how I feel about this year's Celtics, for this video at least, they're going to get all the praise. And as for the Pacers, I know people are saying they sold, but to be fair, Tyrese Halliburton is not here. And yes, I do believe the series is over. That's why this title of this video is going to be like, the Pacers did well. Because if the Celtics can come back in a game like this, there is no way the Celtics are losing this series. As there is no way the Pacers are beating them for the next 4 games. It's just not happening. Especially with no Halliburton. So yeah, the Pacers did well. Pascal Siakam did his thing. Andrew Nembhard had his breakout game. Miles Turner did his thing. And they're going to grow from this and get better next year. But that's all I have to say.